through the NQ trade. I took a 1.7 R roughly win on Tuesday, August 12th during the AM New York trading session. This happened after a CPI red folder news release. Now, full disclosure, I had a neutral daily bias, and I'm not even sure that I read the hourly market structure correctly. You'll see how I was logically looking at it, but I was able to get on sides with a win to the buy side regardless, or maybe that's just because price just keeps going up in indices regardless. But let's get right into it. So on the chart right now is the daily chart. This is the last 4 daily candles, and when I'm looking at the daily chart, like trying to establish a bias, I need price to clearly show me which direction we're headed, and if not, as was in this particular day, if I don't have a clear picture or price could go either way, and that's just how I'm reading it, then I'm neutral. It doesn't mean I can't trade. I will then rely on the hourly market structure narrative to help me get on sides. So first things first, I mark off the previous daily low, previous daily high. Already we can see that overnight we are the previous daily high has already been swept. Okay, so that's already just kind of telling us a little bit of a story. I'm going to mark a fib from the previous daily range, sort of see where we are currently trading, and I'm going to mark out here. We didn't have any internal or external range liquidity that we were currently trading or delivering from. So when I don't have that, I like to look at candle structure, right? So if you look here, this was the previous week, okay? But we had a strong candle closure, okay, here on, what was that, on Friday, okay? And then on Monday, we had a sweep of that, right? We had a liquidity raise, okay, and a move back down into the range. That would indicate that price wants to go lower. So that said, we had the swing high up here, which also represents the all-time high. And I've just been really bullish with NQ. We haven't really swept anything yet in terms of we weren't delivering out of any sort of internal range liquidity, and we hadn't swept this swing high yet. So I couldn't read it one way or the other. So whenever that happens, I am neutral, and I move on to the hourly chart. No need to shed any tears. Okay, I don't have to be confused or upset. I'm just going to move to the hourly time frame and see if there's anything that jumps out in terms of narrative. So I'm going to pull up the hourly chart here and see this, bam, bam. Okay, this was the CPI. Okay, this was a CPI up, and then we had a move directly down. This would maybe indicate a reversal, right? But I was going to need, in order to confirm that reversal, as you know, I'm always looking for a change in a state of delivery. I would have needed a close underneath here. So we weren't there yet, right? And price has been bullish, and I started to notice a number of things. For starters, actually had a change in the state of delivery to the bullish side. Okay, so we swept out a bunch of liquidity here. Look, we had a move down into this internal range liquidity, and then a displacement up, and we closed above this series of down close candles on the hourly. Right, so now I'm starting to think, okay, well, it looks weird because it's a very long set of very bearish candles. But once we entered this internal range liquidity, we extended, right? Took some external range liquidity, so internal to external, but we did close, okay, above this series of down close. So that is a change in the state of delivery. So that's what I'm looking for, right? So that is a change in the state of delivery. And like I said, we have been delivering from this hourly bullish fair value gap. So I want to make note here that I don't use SMT a ton, but I did yesterday, okay? And it did help me with my decision to seek out longs. So this SMT that happened inside of this bullish hourly fair value gap got me looking at this small hourly fair value gap right here. And my idea for the day was to see if we've invalidated this, which would tell me, right, that we were probably heading lower. If we got support by it, right? If we delivered out of this hourly fair value gap, and I was going to look for a bullish move. So I have my my plan, right? I'm looking for. I'm going to require a move into this hourly POI here, especially with this this bullish and then super bearish two consecutive hourly candles. So I'm going to move on to the M5, and I'm waiting until we get a move into this hourly POI, and then I'm going to see what happens. Here's the SMT, right? So that just sort of gets me curious. We could be taking a look at buy side activity. So I'm going to play price out here and wait for the sweep. Now we get that on the very next candle, right? So that is our sweep right there. And whenever we get a sweep, I'm looking for the series or single down close candle that took that liquidity. And I want to see price come up here and with a displacement move, right? An aggressive move and close above the open of that candle. So let's move price forward. And we actually got it at the very next candle. Okay, that's a good sign, right? If we're bullish and we're going to see a reversal, we want to see it happen with authority. So we got to close above that. And I got involved. I got involved with a trade here. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I like to set a fib if I have a clear swing point, right? Swing high, swing low, and just sort of plot out where possibly we could go, right? So we've got a little bit of room here to the -1 to -1.5. That's the low-hanging fruit. And whenever we have low-hanging fruit, if we have any liquidity around there, I'd like to target that, okay? So I tried to frame a trade to this minor buy-side liquidity. This right here is the all-time high. Ultimately, I should have waited for that to get hit, as we will see. But I'm trading Apex funded accounts and just trying to chip away at these things. And I do not want my daily drawdown to get to even get any close at all. So I look at liquidity like this, right? This is low resistance liquidity, okay? And I want these things. I want this to get taken. All right, and I set my target at the minor buy side right here. So put in a market order. I did not want to come all the way down here to the swing low. I just went underneath this very small fair value gap right here, okay, which was a logical zone for me. If we came back down near there, I would get out of the trade. Okay, that's a fair value gap. So that was logical to me, right? That if price came all the way back down, started testing that, that this trade was invalidated for me. So I'd want to see price just sort of rocket up and take this liquidity right here. And it's actually exactly what it did. So I'm going to put a buy order here, stop loss right below that M5 small fair value gap. Take profit at the what I'm calling a minor buy side, right? It's just an hourly swing high. And we still have the all-time high up here, and -2 to -2.5 is way up here. Now, a lot of times you guys will hear me talk about ad nauseum the 1/3 ADR levels. Well, we've already closed strongly through the 1/3 ADR levels, right? We came back down, but whenever we close strong through, we don't create. As you can see here, we actually close strongly through on the hourly candle. If we do that, it's sort of like a stat mat level, a manipulation level. So I'd look us then to start targeting the full ADR. So that's my thought process there. SMT on the hourly, I like that. Enter into an hourly POI, close above this change in state delivery, enter right there, and let's move price forward, and we just go right to take profit. Boom. About a 1.7. I got basically 1.7 on this trade. I wasn't super happy about my well, I don't know. I'm going back and forth as to whether or not I made the right call on the hourly. Clearly, I did, right, because price moved higher. But I put in my notes that I wasn't real sure of the hourly market structure. But anyway, look, we did take the all-time high here. That was a good target. Probably could have got at least 2R if I had tried to. All right, you guys have a great one. I appreciate anybody who watches these videos. Believe it or not, these videos help me a ton. Just review my trades, review the losses, reviews the wins, my logic, and I appreciate anybody who watches these. So like, subscribe, comment, and you guys have a great day.